Fever 87, Atlanta 85. What a damn game. And what a damn finish. Shout out to the entire Atlanta Dream team for forgetting that Aaliyah Boston exists and she got an open layup. Shout out for what was one of the dumbest breakdowns I've seen. Shout out for them throwing the ball with about 10 hands in there, and shout out to Lexi Hull getting the stop. And shout out to the Atlanta Dream, who starting off the season, went out of their way to insult the Indiana Fever, calling them just bandwagoners. You've now got the Indiana Fever, who, by the way, I got completely false information. One of the TV guides gave false viewership numbers. ESPN actually ended up having to correct it. So I took down that video after like 20 minutes. So I do apologize if you were one of the people that watched that video. I gave you incorrect information. And it was basically, they said that the Fever had 90 or 950K. It was actually 1.5 million. Which is, again, it's about half what you'd expect with Caitlin, but still 1.5 million's so many viewers. That's still so many viewers. 1.5 million, the second most watched playoff game in ESPN history. In the last 2 years, only the 2 games Caitlin Clark played and Game 5 of the WNBA Finals had more viewership than Game 2 from the Fever versus the Atlanta Dream. And you better believe it's going to be probably the highest on ESPN2 in the playoffs ever as well. Game 3. Only team to win 2 away games for the Atlanta Dream. The Fever didn't win 2 away games. The Fever did not win 2 away games. Nobody won 2 away games. You've got Caitlin Clark with the Black Air Forces, which is a big thing. You got Caitlin with the Black Air Forces, but I always find this, the only teams win 2 away games. They didn't win 2 away games, though. We sent you in that bandwagon, Fever, the only team. Where did that come from? The Fever won a home game and one away. I mean, they beat you at home, they beat you away. And stop crying, Alicia. But yeah, it's a big win for the Fever. But I just love this. I love when these teams were like, oh yeah, you know, we're gonna go and insult the Fever. We're gonna insult the Fever fans. We're gonna call them bandwagoners. We're gonna do all of this crap, and we're gonna lose to them. We're gonna lose to them without their best player, without their freaking offensive engine. We're gonna lose to them without that. Because in her absence, the second best player on that team, who had been, I mean this, even at points in this season, a one-dimensional black hole shot chucker, became the female Iverson. Got a little bit better at picking her shots. Got better at passing. Became hitting shots at opportune times. And screw whatever field goal percentages. I don't care about field goal percentage. Kelsey Mitchell just gets buckets. She gets buckets. And you've got the Dream out here. You got the Dream out here calling the Fever fans bandwagoners. And now, an entire year even without Caitlin Clark, and all of a sudden the Indiana Fever are still the most viewed team in this league. The most popular team in this league. And Caitlin Clark played what? Like 13 games? She missed 31 plus 30. She's missed 34 games. Caitlin Clark has missed 34 games, and the Fever are still smashing every other team in this effing league when it comes to viewership. They're smashing all of them. Atlanta Dream, you know, bandwagon fans. I'm not joking when I say this. There is a possibility that the Indiana Fever, let's just say hypothetically, I genuinely mean this. I think there's a legit possibility that since Caitlin Clark has come into the league, the Indiana Fever may have had more attendance than the history of the Atlanta Dream. Like, I don't actually think that's an impossibility. It's not likely, but let's just say Atlanta Dream's home games, 3,000 seater, 20 a year, that's 60,000 seats. That's 4 Fever home games. They play 20 a year. That's 5 seasons worth of home games for the Atlanta Dream. Just last season for the Fever. The Dream played 17 years. They played 2008. That's wrong. Probably more than the last decade of Atlanta Dream. And the Indiana Fever this season without Caitlin Clark probably had more total attendance in the last 4 years with the Atlanta Dream. But yeah, it's a It's a mad one. It's a mad one. Like I love the fact we beat this team. I really, really want to beat the Aces. I would love for the Storm to win. Like, as much as we want to complain about the Storm, I like Dominique Malonga. I love Erica Wheeler. Like, my most viewed video on this channel is talking about how Erica Wheeler basically won't, like, her and Caitlin were so bad together at the start of last season that I was like, not that Erica Wheeler was trying to sabotage the Fever, but she was basically so much of a net negative that she was ruining all the momentum the team had. I fucking love Erica Wheeler. Like, it's so good to see Erica Wheeler. Like, I think Erica Wheeler actually would have thrived on this Fever team with no Caitlin Clark, but it was so good to see Erica Wheeler doing her thing because such a good person, such a good teammate, which is not a fit with Caitlin Clark. And it was good to see her doing her thing this year and killing it. But I would love seeing that. I love Dominique Malonga. I call Dominique Malonga Baby Goat. I call her Baby Goat. I think Dominique Malonga is going to be the greatest player to ever play. So that's my thing. Like, if the other player in this league that has a chance to be the greatest of all time, another young player, because yes, AJ does have that possibility. If the other young player who has a chance in Caitlin Clark isn't playing, why not get the player who I think has the best chance of being the greatest of all time in Dominique Malonga? Because, man, Dominique Malonga is just so good. Like, she stopped Aja Wilson on a game, on basically 2 to 3 possessions down the stretch, and the shot that should have been the game-winning stop, but Nneka forgot to help the helper and gave up an easy shot. So, yeah, it's a pity, but I'm so happy we beat the Atlanta Dream. I'm so happy we beat the Atlanta Dream. Not because of the players. I like Alicia Gray. I like Ryan Hart. I like Carlos Mesco. I like Brie Jones. I like Brittany Grant. I like that whole team. The whole thing with the Atlanta Dream is Renee Montgomery is a part owner of that team. Renee Montgomery has effectively called Caitlin Clark a racist. She's basically said all Fever. She doesn't want any of the Fever fans. She wants them all gone. She's like, my favorite thing was she was on ESPN, like, fucking talking about the games, and she's a part owner of one of those teams. And she's not the main owner, but she is front and center as the WNBA investor in the Dream. And man, I'm pissed. I'm pissed in 2021 I didn't get in on that Atlanta Dream. I am pissed. Like, I had the money. It was COVID boom for 2K. I had the money to get a good chunk of the Atlanta Dream. Like, I had the money to get, like, let me think, like 8-9% of the Atlanta Dream. I had that money to get 8 or 9% of the Atlanta Dream. If I'd only had the foresight. If I'd only been watching the league back then, I would have bought 8 or 9% of the Dream, and I'd never have to work another day in my life. I'd never have to work a day in my life, man. I'd sell that 8 or 9%. Give me my 20 million. I retire. You'd never hear me again, but I fucked it. I didn't have the foresight. I didn't. But someone who did was Renee Montgomery, and I appreciate that, you know. Smart businesswoman, but not a fan of her as a person. Smart businesswoman, though. And that's the reason why I'm so happy we beat this team. They want to make fun of the Fever fans. Well, it's a pity that, you know, last season, like 50% of your home attendance was against the Fever.